All right, team, let's jump right in. This isn't for the new guy on his first day. This is for us, the pros. A sharp refresher on the rules of scaffolding that are completely non-negotiable. We're going to get straight to it because, getting this right, it's everything.
We all know the one constant in our line of work, right? Gravity. It is relentless. It never punches out, never takes a holiday. And that's exactly why our own focus, our vigilance, it can't take a break either. What we build up has to be solid, because gravity is always waiting.
So let's start where every single shift on a scaffold has to start. I'm talking about before your boot even hits that first rung, the pre-work check. Look, this little green tag, it's probably the most important piece of communication on the entire job site. It's not just some piece of plastic, it's a promise. It's someone saying, I've inspected this structure today, and I'm staking my reputation on the fact that it's safe for you and your crew.
And let's be absolutely crystal clear on this. That tag is the beginning and the end of the conversation. If you walk up to a scaffold and you don't see that green Safe for Use tag, you don't climb. Period. End of story. It is a hard stop. That one simple habit protects every single person on site.
Okay, so you see the green light, you're good to go. But what are you actually putting your trust in? You're trusting that the build itself followed these golden rules of structural integrity. Let's quickly run through the basics of a solid build. This one's just pure physics, A tall, skinny structure just wants to tip over. So the rule is simple. If that scaffold is more than 3 times taller than it is wide at its narrowest point, it has to be tied off. It must be secured to something that isn't going anywhere. This isn't a guideline, it's just a law of stability.
20 inches. Remember that number. That's the absolute minimum width for any work platform. Why? Well, because you need a stable surface to actually do your job. You need room for your feet, your tools, your materials. Anything less than that, and you're introducing a risk that's just not acceptable.
And the surface you're standing on? It's kept safe by 2 critical rules. First, those planks have to overlap by at least 6 inches. That's what creates a solid, connected platform, instead of a bunch of loose boards. And second, this should go without saying, but it has to be said. If a plank is cracked, split, or beat up in any way, it's garbage. Get it out of there. It's a liability, not an asset.
So the scaffold's built right, it's tagged, it's solid. Now let's talk about the practices for when you're actually up on the platform getting the work done.
10 feet. Burn that number into your brain. The moment you start erecting scaffolding above this height, your personal fall protection is no longer optional. It becomes absolutely mandatory. This is that line in the sand where the risk level officially changes, and so our level of protection has to change right along with it.
While you're working up high, there are 3 non-negotiables. 1. Always use the proper access, the stairs or the ladder built for it. 2. Make sure those guardrails and midrails are in place. That's your first and best line of defense. And 3, the area below you has to be cordoned off. Simple as that. Your work shouldn't create a new hazard for the crew down on the ground.
And of course, on the flip side, the hard don'ts. Never climb the cross bracing or the frame. It's not a jungle gym, it's not a ladder. Don't try to be a hero and work through heavy wind or rain. It just makes everything unpredictable and dangerous. And never, ever work on a platform that doesn't have its guardrails up or an equivalent fall protection system in place. Just don't.
Now, all these rules, they don't just exist on paper. They're upheld by people, by us, by the whole team. See, safety is a shared responsibility, and every single one of us has a critical part to play. This partnership right here is absolutely essential. The foreman's job is to make sure you're trained, you're informed, and you've got the right gear. Your job is to actually use that training. You inspect your gear, you assess your immediate work area, and, this is huge, you report any problems right away. It's a two-way street, and it's what keeps everybody safe. When it comes down to it, everything we've just covered isn't about checking off boxes on a form. It's not about compliance just for the sake of it. Following these practices, this is the mark of a professional. These are the habits that separate the experts from the amateurs, and they're what makes sure we all go home in one piece at the end of the day.
So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Out of everything we just ran through, what is the one check, the one single habit that you are going to personally commit to before every single climb? Because making that conscious choice, that's what turns a quick refresher into real-world safety. Stay safe out there.